Hey friends, Sleepy here, and welcome to a brand new episode of my weekly gaming playlist series. We've made it to another Friday, so we're going to do our recap and share and talk about the games I played this week. I would love to hear your thoughts, so if you guys have played any of the games I shared here today, let me know your thoughts on them. I always enjoy hearing about the games you guys are playing as well, as that gives me ideas of games that I might want to check out. So I do appreciate everyone who has been sharing all the games they play. You guys have piqued my interest in a lot of games. I really do appreciate it. And thank you guys, too, for all the suggestions. If you guys have a suggestion on a game you think I might enjoy playing, let me know. Always looking for new games to play and experience. This week I got one for the Xbox One, and this is a game that I've been playing since 2018. It's an action RPG, and these are the kind of games that I like to play for a little while, and then I move on to something else, and I'll return to them, because these are games that are like 50 to 100 hours to beat, and that game is Titan Quest. Now what's cool is this is an old school PC game that got ported to Xbox One and PS4 back in 2018. There was also an anniversary edition release for the PC, and what's cool is they're actually going to be releasing a Titan Quest 2. It's supposed to come out this year. Maybe they might push it into next year, but I thought with that new one coming out, I know I would like to add it to the collection, that I'd like to go back and continue working on the story of Titan Quest. There are 4 DLCs total. There's a last one that was released for PC only. The consoles did not get it, but this copy does come with the first DLC, and then you have to buy the 2 additional DLCs, which I do want to thank my good buddy Dean, Vinny Corleone 62. You guys know him as Escape the Gaming channel. Several years ago, he told me about a huge sale that was going on because he knew that I liked this Titan Quest game, and said, hey man, you might want to jump on the DLC. It's heavily discounted, and so I was able to add those to the collection, and so I'm having a lot of fun with this. It's an isometric action RPG with a Greek setting, but you also go to Egypt and go to Asia. Really cool. Deals with fighting the Titans and Greek gods and stuff, and all kinds of mythology, and a huge variety of monsters to fight. It's got fantastic voice acting. It's got wonderful music. The graphics look really good, especially playing it on my Xbox Series X on my 4K TV. Really good game. Let's read from the back. Discover the courage that turn heroes into legends. From Age of Empires co-creator Brian Sullivan and Braveheart writer Randall Wallace comes an innovative action role-playing game set in ancient Greece, Egypt, and Asia. The Titans have escaped their eternal prison, wreaking havoc upon the earth. The gods seek a hero who can turn the tide in an epic struggle that will determine the fate of both men and gods. Are you ready for that quest? So really awesome. Let's check out some Titan Quest.
Before the light of the gods entered the world, there was only darkness ruled by Titans. After an epic war, Zeus seized the heavens and exiled the Titans, seeking to imprison them for all eternity. The lands were cleansed and mortals flourished, but arrogance precedes many a fall. And even a god's prison may be breached.
Well, friends, today we're visiting an old classic, Titan Quest. This is an awesome isometric action RPG. This was originally an old PC game that they randomly decided to port many years ago to Xbox One and PS4. I started playing it in 2018 and I got pretty far in it, and then I stopped. I picked it up and played a little bit more in 2022. And I haven't touched it since, and this has just been on my mind because they're actually making a Titan Quest 2, and I like to get that later this year when it releases, but I'd really like to beat the first game before I start the second one, so I decided, you know what, it's the perfect time now, go back and finish up what I started. Now this is definitely not a short game. You're looking at anywhere from 50 to 80 hours to beat this game if you do absolutely everything. I'm currently halfway through the game, and I'm in the second area. What's cool is this takes place in ancient Greece, but you also get to go to Egypt, where they're currently at, and then eventually get to go to Asia as well. And then there are 2 big DLC expansion packs that I bought for this. And I want to thank my good buddy Dean. Many years ago, I think it was 2018 or might have been 2022, somewhere around there, he let me know that the DLC was actually on sale, a huge discount on it, and so I was able to jump on that sale and get the DLC for this, which I've never played before, so I'm looking forward to tackling the DLC once I beat the main game, because it takes place after, and it's meant for high-level characters. The game does have single player that you can play, but you can also play online multiplayer with other characters, or you can play local split screen, which I do have 2 characters. I have my character, which is a conjurer, but I also have a warrior character that I played with my one buddy Jeff. He wanted to play it, so we created a new character for him to play with me along to the story. Really good game. I love the whole Greek setting, and I love the huge variety of monsters and creatures that you get to fight, and you get to fight different titans throughout the game. There are a lot of enemies to fight. There's a lot of loot to get, so this is definitely a heavy loot crawling, you know, going through dungeons, collecting loot and selling it. So if you love that kind of game, you'll love this, because it does play a lot like a Diablo game. Now what's cool is there is an old strategy guide for the PC that actually you can use for this, because it works for the main game, but the DLC was released after that strategy guide was created, and also when they made an anniversary edition for PC of this. Has pretty good graphics. I also love that it has a day and night cycle, so you'll start out during the day, but eventually it'll turn to night, and you can create a variety of different characters. So I'll show you guys my character window. So there's my character. You know, all your classic isometric action RPG stuff, you know, where you can wear different pieces of armor, you can equip different weapons, you have inventory down below. Now, since this game came out, they have released a few updates to it, and they did change the interface menu here, where they split up your inventory into 3 different areas to make it a little bit manageable on the screens, since this isn't a PC. So there is a little bit, they had a few changes like that for the console versions. And then over here you can keep track of what your character's level is, which I'm currently level 25, how much XP you have, the different attributes, your health, energy, strength, intelligence, dexterity, resistance you have, and then your secondary stuff you can get into, your health regeneration, the different things you have, the greatest monster you killed, and how many monsters total I've killed is 4,800 monsters, so I've killed quite a few. I've died 4 times. There are some really hard bosses that you will encounter in the game, and so you definitely want to make sure you're prepared and leveled up for that. It's cool, you can assign skills here. So like I'm a conjurer, so I can summon stuff. I can summon this core dweller, which is a big giant fire golem, and then I also have a Lich King, so I get to have a cool Lich with me, which is awesome. And I always like playing magic characters, so that's why I have this. And then I've also unlocked some different abilities that I can use. You have your skill window here. You can have 2 masteries that you want to master, and you can do 2 of them. And so I've got Earth Mastery, which has to do with fire magic, and then with that golem, and then my Spirit Magic is the other one. Which is where the spirit stuff, which I've got almost maxed out, leveled up. So I'm working on leveling both of these up, so you can use dual modes, and so there's all these different abilities you can unlock as you level up the different mastery you have. So it's really cool. Love all the RPG elements there. You have this giant map window here, which can keep track of the overall map. And anything that's highlighted in white, obviously, you've been to. But each time you play a session, the game will reset all the monsters, so they'll all repopulate the map. So you can always, leave the game, come back, and more enemies will spawn for you, so you can continue to level up. The game does have fast traveling as well, which you can drop this portal stone anywhere you want to travel to the town, and then you can warp back to where you were, because you'll find a lot of loot in the game, but you won't be able to pick it all up. And then there's a little help window that has all the tutorial stuff for you as you play through the game, so if you forget something, you can always go back and get the tutorials and stuff. And then it just keeps track of your quest window. So between the different acts, you have your main quest that you're going through, and then you have all the side quests, and everything has a check mark on it. Now, quests are missable, so I recommend do all the side quests before you complete an area for the main quest. You'll know where you're going, when the thing is like, you'll end up leaving an area, and these will have an X if you miss them. So if you don't want to miss all the quests, make sure you go through and do them all first. If you don't have the strategy guide, you can always look up a guide online. There's plenty of them on there to help you so that you don't get lost. But I do recommend being careful how fast you progress the main story to make sure you do all the side quests and stuff, which I'm currently working on a side quest for this area right now. So, get my guys up. There's my golem. And there's my lich. Now, what's cool about this game is, with the isometric game, you can zoom real far out. You can zoom out this far out. You can zoom all the way in super close to your character. I don't know why you'd want to play this close. It'd be really hard to see, but you can. So I kind of like to keep it about this distance away. And the game will highlight chests and stuff, and loot for you will show up on the screen, so you can easily identify that there's loot there. And the game will periodically auto-save for you, but you can save anytime by going here, just hit save, and it just saves. There's only one save file, so there's not multiple save files. So if you die, it saves that you died. You can't erase that, so just be aware. The game does have like a perma-save mode going on. And I love how there's just a huge variety of monsters. Skeletons, scorpions, spiders, these different titan creatures, all kinds of Greek enemies. There's ancient Egyptian enemies, you've got Asian enemies. It's just really cool. There's just a huge variety. There's hundreds of enemies to battle, and they're all in different kind of areas. You also have different locales, like you got the desert, you have some swamp areas, water areas, forest areas. It's just cool how many different areas there are. Now if you hold down the A button, you actually bring up a menu of all the collectibles within your range. You can then just hit the collect instead of having to go up to each item individually, which does come in handy. So I'm currently trying to save some lady's brother that's lost in a cave somewhere, and we're trying to find that cave. The game does have different colored for enemies. If their colors are different and not white, that means that they're a hero enemy, and the game randomly will spawn those, and they're much more difficult, and sometimes they'll spawn little mini bosses around the map. So you have to be careful. Sometimes you might have to run so that you don't die. There's also a variety of NPCs you'll run into who can give you quests. There's merchants you'll run into, all kinds of stuff. And when you ever get these little pillars, you light them up, that means you've now unlocked a new area to explore. You also have these rebirth fountains, so if you die, when you activate one of these, they're all over, spread out throughout the game. You'll automatically respawn here if you die. So you want to make sure that when you're in a new area, you activate one of these so you don't have to go back from a long distance. Because I had one activated a while ago, so you want to make sure you keep those activated as you explore new areas. And the game looks really good here, playing on my Xbox Series X. Really good graphics for an old PC game that they ported. Gate of the Sphinx. So we found the Memphis Plaza. So I've been down here before, so I've now gotten to this area. This is where I got the different quests and stuff at. I love the music too. Got this Egyptian music. When you're over in Greece, it has Greek sounding music, and then I do know that when you get into the Asian area, it'll have more Oriental type of music, which is really cool. So it does have good voice acting too, good music.
I am relieved to see you. Things have not gone well. We were horribly unprepared to battle a powerful Telki. No one has seen one since the war between the Titans and the gods. But now they seem to be everywhere. It is more important than ever that we proceed with the invocation ceremony. Only the gods can protect us. Thank you for retrieving the scroll of invocation. And now, let me see. To complete the ritual of invocation, we must first collect the Eye of Chaos and the Hand of Balance. The Eye is rumored to be somewhere beyond the Fayum Oasis. I believe the Hand of Balance is in Giza. Recover these artifacts and bring them to me. Only then can we summon the gods. But be on your guard. In these times, peril lurks at every turn.
So it's really cool. They'll have icons above their head if they're able to be talked to.
Here's the one. You there. How about the job in the Pharaoh's army? No, of course not. Nobody wants this job, not these days. The truth is, things are bad here. Plenty of soldiers have died, but more have deserted. I think the gossip is true. Set must be returning from exile, and these monsters are his servants. That is why Pharaoh had to hide. I have been a soldier all my life. I could not leave it. Sometimes I think with a true and mighty leader, we might just... but what is the chance of that? What's left of the army can be found in the cities guarding the gates and keeping order. We're not on the offensive anymore. Have you heard they talk about this Greek hero? Mighty as the heroes of legend. Kill the evil magi who made the beasts, is what they are saying.
So, just wanted to give you guys a little taste of Titan Quest, a really cheap game. Here locally they have copies as cheap as $5, all the way up to like 20 some bucks. Just depends on the store. I'm not sure how expensive it is online, but it is a fairly cheap game, and there's also DLC. So if you like isometric action RPGs, I highly recommend you guys check out Titan Quest. I'm absolutely loving this game, and it's really fun to go back after all these years and continue my story in it. I hope you guys enjoyed that look at Titan Quest. I've shared this a few times over the years on my weekly gaming playlist series. Really have a lot of fun with this game. I've gotten quite far in it, but I still have so much more to do, and then to go through all the DLCs and stuff. So this is definitely not a game that I will have beat this year, as I do tend to play these games for a while, but then, like I said, you know, I eventually want to focus on something else. And so these long form games, I'll play for a while, put them down, and then come back to them, and I do that until I beat them. So this is definitely gonna be one of those games, but I highly recommend it. It's really cheap. You can get it for PC, you can get it for the PlayStation 4, you can get it for the Xbox One. It's really awesome game. If you love isometric action RPGs, I highly recommend it. There's a variety of characters you can build, so you can play all kinds of different ones. I'm playing as a conjurer because I love playing as magic characters, but you can play as a warrior, you can play as like a thief type of character. There's a variety of them that you can play as. Good voice acting. I like all the voice actors they have in it. I like the huge variety of monsters, just hundreds of different kinds of creatures for you to fight. There's boss battles and stuff. Tons of loot, so if you guys like getting loot in games, like I always like collecting loot, there's a ton of loot that's dropped by enemies, all kinds of stuff to augment your characters, and just overall really fun action RPG. Highly recommend Titan Quest. It's a cheap game and it's really fun. But let me know your guys' thoughts. Have you guys played Titan Quest before? I'd love to know what you thought of it. I'd like to hear about the games you guys are playing, and if you have a recommendation on a title you think I might enjoy, let me know. You guys always do recommend some really fun titles. Take care, have a great day, and Sleepy will see you guys next time.